We've all encountered someone who seems to complain incessantly about their health, finances, relationships, or the state of the world. To the observer, their situation might not seem that dire. It may even seem like a relatively normal series of ups and downs that everyone experiences. Yet, no matter what you say, this person seems determined to focus on the negative. You might find yourself trying to cheer them up, offering solutions, or simply being a sounding board for their grievances. But in this moment, something more insidious might be happening, something that goes beyond simple venting. Narcissists, in particular, use complaints as a method to attach themselves to you emotionally, creating a dynamic that saps your energy and shifts the power balance in their favor. Unlike someone who genuinely needs support or is seeking to unload in a healthy way, the narcissist's complaints are a means to draw you in and make you feel like you're the one responsible for their emotional well-being. This subtle emotional manipulation can be hard to spot, but once you recognize it, you'll see how different it is from a person simply needing a listening ear or some genuine empathy. For a narcissist, complaining isn't about finding relief or seeking advice. It's about establishing an energy exchange where they drain your positive energy while simultaneously unloading their negative emotions onto you. As they complain, your natural empathy kicks in, and you start to feel what they're feeling. Your empathy becomes a doorway, a portal that allows them to transfer their burdens to you. This is where the narcissist creates the exchange. They dump their negativity onto you, and in return, they siphon off your positive mood. They want to establish this dynamic of emotional exchange, where their negativity becomes your responsibility and your positive energy becomes theirs for the taking. With each complaint, they create a bond that makes you feel obligated to absorb their emotions and take on their problems as your own. You begin to shift your focus from your own needs and well-being to theirs, and as you empathize with them, you unknowingly open yourself to this energetic exchange. Over time, you may notice a pattern. When you meet a narcissist, your mood changes. At first, you might feel upbeat, happy, or content, but as they start to complain, you begin to absorb their negativity. Their complaints create a drain on your energy, and by the end of the interaction, you leave feeling burdened, drained, or weighed down. Meanwhile, the narcissist seems to leave the conversation renewed, their mood improved, and their emotional needs temporarily fulfilled. You, on the other hand, feel exhausted and emotionally depleted. This energy exchange is one of the core strategies narcissists use to manipulate those around them. They don't just want your attention or empathy, they want your emotional energy. When they dump their complaints onto you, they don't expect you to simply listen or offer support, they want you to internalize their emotions. As you empathize, you unwittingly allow them to tap into your emotional state, taking the positive energy that you bring into the interaction and leaving you with their negativity. What happens if you don't comply with their complaints or fail to give them the attention they seek? This is where things can take a darker turn. Narcissists do not simply expect to be the focus of your emotional energy, they also demand that you give them the reaction they want. If you resist or fail to cater to their grievances, they may lash out in anger or outrage, either openly or in more covert, passive-aggressive ways. Open outrage can manifest as explosive outbursts where they aggressively criticize, belittle, or accuse you of not caring about them. They may demand that you prioritize their complaints and express frustration or disappointment when you don't. These emotional explosions serve a clear purpose: to punish you for not conforming to their narrative. The narcissist seeks to make you feel guilty for not prioritizing their emotional needs, using anger as a weapon to keep you in line. Covertly, the narcissist may retreat into coldness or silence, withdrawing their attention, affection, or any positive reinforcement. This silent treatment is an emotionally manipulative tactic, designed to make you feel like you're at fault for not giving them the validation they craved. They may act distant, cold, or indifferent, creating a sense of confusion and discomfort. The message is clear: if you do not comply with their emotional demands, you will be punished by their withdrawal, making you feel small, unimportant, or wrong. It's crucial to distinguish between a narcissist's manipulative complaining and a person who is genuinely seeking support without attempting to dominate the emotional exchange. A person who is truly struggling might express frustration or sadness, but their intention is usually to be heard and to seek understanding, not to make you feel inferior or responsible for their emotions. When someone is in need of support, they are often open to feedback, solutions, and reassurance. They don't expect you to absorb their emotional state or feel responsible for fixing everything for them. Their complaints come from a place of vulnerability, and they don't need to manipulate you to feel superior. Instead, they appreciate your empathy and are grateful for any positive energy you offer. In contrast, the narcissist's complaining is about one thing: control. They want to pull you into their emotional sphere and make you feel as though your happiness is secondary to theirs. They want to alter your mood to match theirs, and in doing so, they regain a sense of power. If you feel drained, upset, or inferior after interacting with them, you're likely dealing with this type of manipulation. Listening to someone's complaints or challenges does not have to be a dangerous or draining experience. When you listen from a place of genuine empathy, you are offering a gift of your presence. But this kind of listening should not result in your emotional energy being consumed or your own needs being neglected. Healthy listening involves setting boundaries, understanding that the other person's emotions are theirs to manage, and not feeling responsible for fixing everything for them. In a healthy dynamic, you can listen without internalizing the complaints. You can be present, show empathy, and offer support, but you don't have to lose yourself in the process. A person who truly needs support will appreciate your emotional presence and won't attempt to manipulate or control your mood. Narcissists, on the other hand, aim to make you feel responsible for their emotional state. When you listen to them, they expect you to be enmeshed with their feelings, to take on their problems as your own, and to constantly adjust your mood to cater to theirs. This is where the danger lies, when listening becomes a trap, and your emotional well-being is dependent on someone else's mood. The key to navigating these situations is recognizing the difference between healthy emotional support and narcissistic manipulation. When you realize that a narcissist is trying to control your mood through their complaints, you can detach from their emotional influence. You can still listen, show empathy, and provide support, but you do so from a place of strength, knowing that their emotions are not your responsibility. In contrast, when someone genuinely needs support, you are able to listen without fear of losing yourself or being manipulated. You can offer them empathy and understanding, but you don't have to absorb their negativity. Your emotional state remains your own, and you are empowered to choose how much energy to invest in the interaction. Ultimately, the difference between healthy emotional support and narcissistic manipulation lies in your emotional independence. You can be there for others without sacrificing your own well-being. The narcissist, however, seeks to bind you to their emotional world, making it difficult for you to stay centered and true to yourself. Recognizing this dynamic empowers you to set boundaries, preserve your emotional energy, and avoid being drawn into a one-sided relationship where you are the emotional caretaker and they are the emotional drain. By learning to distinguish between genuine need and narcissistic manipulation, you can navigate your relationships with clarity and strength, ensuring that your emotional well-being is always a priority.